Hi kids. Today, the drill. The drill! Hello and welcome to the channel. I am Chris, this is Dirty Trucker 08, and yes, today we are playing with the drill and the Jeep. Now some of you have been watching this for a while, and it's clearly been a while, but you've seen that I've been working on Big Chief, and you saw that we had problems getting the springs down. So today, what we're going to be doing, since we got those bolts out, the ends were all sorts of screwed up, we're going to try and drill out the centers and then replace with a nut. Now these are the drill bits we're going to be using. They start with a 9/16 and goes all the way up to a 1 inch. We are going to start small and work our way up. Already got the smallest one in the chuck right there, ready to go. We are going to have one problem though. This little guy right here, he's going to end up being in the way. So we're going to have to take the saw and cut that off real quick so that we've got room to drill. Now that we've got that bolt cut out of the way, we can start drilling and hopefully get this stepped up big enough, or we can put a new nut inside there and then weld it in. Step up to the next size, 9/16 to 5/8. There we go. Much better. Look at us learning something. Use your step-up bit on the outside so it's not wobbling around so bad. Figured something out. Look at us go. We grab our replacement nut. Focus. This is our replacement nut. We're going to see how close this is to fitting at 7/8. I believe we still need to go to 1 inch, but let's see how close this is in there. And like I thought, 7/8, if we were to round off all the points on here, would fit right in. But we need to keep going. I believe it's going to be 1 inch exactly. Should slide this in there perfect. So, let's keep stepping up. That is 15/16. We will double check our nut one more time. I believe we're going to have to step on up, but we'll check. Yep, it's just not quite fitting. So hopefully I measured correctly, and this 1 inch will take care of it. And after we get this nut welded in, we will have to come back and make a new plate for this outside edge as well, because we have obviously expanded this hole, right in here. It's significantly larger. We'll have to have a smaller hole. So we'll take a piece of plate steel that fits here, has the proper size hole in the middle of it, and then we will weld that on to reinforce the outside as well. But let's go ahead and cool off that inside just a hair. See how good this works. Now that was 1 inch. That's got us all the way up. hopefully, without burning my fingers, that does just slide right in. Good deal. Now we need to get in there with the Dremel and clean this around so we'll be able to have a clean surface to tack to. And nobody's better with a Dremel than the boy. Alright, so slight dilemma. The bolt and nut will work to get in there, but we've got a little bit of slop here, as you guys can see on camera. And if you look over on this side, I'm going to have to figure out a way to make sure I'm centered with this nut as we're putting that in there. Get out some of that crap. I haven't scraped that out yet, but we'll be able to get that in and hold that pretty centered, I think. But this other side also needs to be held centered. That way our bolt is square whenever we're putting this all together. For you guys, this is going to be instantaneous. For me, I'm going to sit back and kind of figure out how I'm going to get this spaced up. I'll see you in just a minute. So here we are. You can see we're pretty close to center on that. Taking a vice grip and a washer on the back side so that I could see to make sure it was centered. I think that looks pretty good. That will hold the bolt while we get this in there. Now with that washer clamped in, should be able to set that in. I kind of like it to set in about like that. Let's make sure we got enough thread into it so it's square. You can see the thread's good. Set that in just like that. Should be good and square. We'll ground it and then tack it in. Now, as you can tell from my awesome welding job, that nut is now in there. Loads of tacks. Need to go through and grind that down to kind of smooth off the outside edge a little bit so it's not rubbing holes in anything. I don't think it's turning out too bad so far. So let's get this outside edge cleaned up and a new plate made to get welded on there real quick. So we now have two plates very similar to this one right here. Not cleaned up yet, just has the 9/16 hole drilled in the middle. Now we've taken our bolt and we've kind of stuck it through. You can see that it's, threaded into the nut. We have not cleaned the inside yet. But this outer plate, which we still need to, clean everything on there, but we've got to get this shape right. Because you got these two bumps on the back side. One there, just on the back side of it, and then the bottom edge down through here has a bit of a flare to it, like it kicks out just that little bit right there. There you can kind of get a better idea of those bumps. We'll have to trim out the bumps shape and then make sure that bottom edge is at just enough angle that that flare's not messing with it either. As long as that bolt is into its nut on the back whenever we go to weld this on, just to get everything all straight and square, should be good to go after that. Alright, so we've got our new plate on. It's just kind of halfway held by the clamp, mostly held by the bolt, which is into itself. And as you can see here, everything threads super easy. So we are lined up perfect. The gap on that is almost non-existent. That is a 9/16 hole with a 14 mil bolt. So it fits pretty good. You can see where we marked, and we ground down everything on the inside so we can start tacking and then weld this little plate on the outside. And as you can see, not the best welds in the world, but they will serve their purpose. So the outer plate is back to the size it should be. There you can see lined up straight through to that nut on the inside. We've still got to go through and grind that down back in there, get that a little bit flatter. Aside from that, we are a coat of paint and done. And that's it. Just a little bit of grinding and a coat of paint, and we've got it all finished up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Maybe even learned something. Comment below on everything I'm doing wrong. I'm sure you're gonna. But I will see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out.